From dating to relationships, from sex to love, from Christianity to politics, from darkness to light, you have now entered into the real zone. Welcome to Conversations with Trent, where no topic of conversation is safe from discussion. Now, here he is, Mr. Epic himself, Trent Williams.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another conversation with Trent and Friends. We're talking about medical marijuana today. Actually, on the previous podcast, Coach D mentioned medical marijuana, and we decided to do it. So I think it's been a couple of weeks since we've been on. A couple of things going on, working on the book, or completing the book, and what have you. And Coach D got some things going on as well. So we're back live, that is, talking about medical marijuana, the benefits, and what's the stigma behind that, right? We're going to be talking about all that stuff. So let's bring Coach D in. Ursula will be bringing up the rear here in a second. Let's bring Coach D in. Hey.
Hey there, how are you?
I am great. Good to see your face in a place. How are you?
I'm good. It's busy.
Good.
Back to school. We just got back to school last week, and I'm broke.
Yeah, so
back to school costs a penny.
I saw you posted a picture on his first day of school. He was running to the bus stop.
Yeah, he didn't want to do any first day pictures. He is an independent fifth grader now, so he's walking to the bus stop on his own.
On his own.
Smartwatch, so I can track him. So we're doing dangerous things safely.
Absolutely.
The big boy though. He had a growth spurt, so I had to buy all brand new clothes. The week before school, he had a growth spurt. I was like, boy.
He's getting tall, man. He's getting real big.
Yeah, I can't see over his head anymore. And I'm not short. I'm 5'8".
Right.
Yeah,
That's good stuff, man. What else is going on with you?
That's about it. I haven't had any time to write or edit or anything like that. Hasn't been in my forecast at all because there's so much other stuff going on. So we'll get back to it.
Right. Well, the recovery book is complete. It's done. Actually, I'm working out the details with Barnes & Noble for a book signing.
Cool.
They built the new Barnes & Nobles. I don't know if I told you, right next door to the gym. So it's so convenient. Yeah. So convenient. All my gym friends are going to show up to the book signing. So the details I'm working on with Barnes & Noble as we speak, as far as the details on the date and the time. But it will be late September, so it's ready. It's definitely ready. I'm very excited about it. Excited about it. Good stuff. So we're talking about miracle. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said I'm excited for you.
Thank you. I've been working pretty hard on that thing, man. So we're talking about medical marijuana, but before we get started, tonight's podcast is brought to you by Black Lightning Trucking and Taylor Kennedy. Good stuff. For all your logistical needs, blacklightningtrucking.com is a spot. For all your publishing needs, Taylor Kennedy Media is the spot for all your publishing needs. So good stuff there, man. Real good stuff. I haven't published anything through Taylor Kennedy Media in quite some time. So it's an exciting time for me, man. I really excited about that stuff. Let's bring her in. I see her's coming through here. 1 second. Let's get her in. What's going on?
Hi, I'm sorry. Hey, D.
Hey there. How are you? Oh, you're in light today.
Yeah. The season's starting to change.
It is. And I love it. I love it.
I hadn't pressed into the studio. I was just waiting. Thanks. My son is home. And he hanging out in the background and he trying to make me be bad. So I missed the button. I'm like, the show not on yet. And I clicked it on my phone. I'm like, oh no, but it's him distracting me. How y'all doing?
Pretty good. I see y'all, Sal. Put on Instagram. Good stuff. Everything's good, man. Everything's good. We're just catching up It's been a minute for us coming through. I think we've been off about
Yeah,
2 weeks, but it was
we
much needed
missed
because
the
I
week.
really needed to. Yeah, I
Well,
really
no,
needed
we missed the
to.
week. We missed last week, and the week before that we were so early.
Oh, okay, that's right. You know what? That's right. With
Yeah,
Catherine over in France, we did do one. I totally
yeah,
forgot about that. Totally
yeah,
forgot about that.
yeah,
You guys check out that program with Coach D, Urs, and myself, along with um,
yeah,
Catherine Gettu, nutrition coach from France. We
yeah.
all woke up at the at an early date to accommodate the East African audience along with the European audience. I think we were up at what time was that, D? Like 8:30 or 10 o'clock, something like that.
10.
Yeah, it was 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. Yeah, so we wanted to accommodate those folks. So we had a good time with Catherine. She enjoyed it. She wants to do it again. So good stuff. It's a very informative information. So check that show out. We're talking about polygamy and Catherine's personal experience with polygamy with her grandfather over in Ashford. You'd be quite
Yeah,
surprised.
she
That's
had some history.
yeah, some
And I
great
do
information.
I do need to make one clarification about that too, because it was brought up to me via text
Okay.
about the reason African Americans go back to Africa is to not
Mhm.
to go back to the people or the places, but to make a connection with the land, the ground,
Yeah.
Ah,
Mother Earth
okay.
in Africa.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's
I was
that's
just
why
talking
they go back. So when she was talking about it's changed and everything, we don't care about that. We care about the actual dirt itself.
exactly, exactly. I was talking to Torrance earlier today. We were talking about everything starts from Africa. We was talking this we had a very lengthy
Yeah.
conversation on that this morning. So I had a good conversation with him on uh on that as far as Africa's concerned. So good stuff, man. We'll be talking about medical marijuana. Coach D suggested after they bust me out for being so high on the program. So I was extremely high one day on the program. I am an advocate for medical marijuana, and I actually use medical marijuana, but because of my
Medical.
condition, medical marijuana. I'm sorry. There you go.
It is a miracle, but
These
it's
are
called.
But
exactly.
we
Are
like to
you
call it
are
where
you
I'm
are you
from.
high right now?
No, not now. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. But it's very holistic for me, and works better than those spasm and pills and all that stuff, man. It's great. It's great. So what I really want to know about why is such a stigma around it? I know, but I'm going to be asking questions on that. Why is there a stigma? And why did it take the federal government 3 decades after California changed the law on marijuana? Why it take them, the Justice Department, 3 decades to
Wow.
start tingling and messing with the law on medical marijuana? Can you imagine how many people was in prison because
They
imprisoned?
still are.
Exactly, exactly. And I find,
So
like I said, I was talking to a friend of mine, Michael, earlier today. We were talking about how holistic it is, right? And it's good for the nervous system. With this condition, I have a whole bunch of nerve damage and muscle damage. When I tell you guys, the moment I take it, because I do more eating of it than smoking it. When I take it, 5 minutes later, my nervous system feels so relaxed. My muscles feel so relaxed. After a great workout or yoga session, very relaxing, very relaxing. So I don't know, and I don't understand the whole stigma behind it, and why it's such a taboo on that. When
because
it's
they
from you,
racialized it.
go ahead.
They
I'm sorry.
racialized marijuana. That's why it's now called cannabis instead
Mm,
of ganja or MJ or whatever
right.
stuff it is. But here's the thing: the war on drugs, which marijuana is a part of, because people declare it a intro drug, where you can buy booze, which is causes a hell of a lot more damage on a daily
Exactly.
basis. On every on well, not in my neighborhood, you can't get on every street corner, but in marginalized neighborhoods, it's a lot easier to access. But here's the thing: they made marijuana, they racialized it, made it the face of marijuana black, and then started throwing people in jail, left, right, and center. If you had a joint, you're going in jail, right?
Right. Right. Right.
But here's the thing: anything. any kind of traditional medicine has always been ostracized. Herbal medicine is some of the most healthiest things for us,
Exactly.
but people don't know, like dandelion tea. All those
Yep.
dandelions growing in the yard,
Mm.
great for you, right?
Exactly.
There's so much
Exactly.
stuff that we ignore: lavender, chamomile, soursop.
I got a
There's
ton
so
of
much
that in
stuff.
the. I
Yeah,
got a ton of that above my refrigerator right now.
yeah.
Lavender
There's so
tea.
much. Yeah, there's so much stuff in herbs that we can grow that we can use to take care of ourselves. I,
Exactly.
if you have, I know dozens and dozens and dozens of vets who take medical marijuana for
Right.
PTSD or pain, right? Dozens of them. It's used for cancer patients. It's known to help people.
Yeah.
But if you even mention it, people think you're a dope smoking hippie or
Exactly.
you're a thug, right?
Exactly.
And people don't realize that our puritanical views only keep us back.
That's it.
They hold us back from all the stuff that we could be doing because we're so busy paying money to throw people in jail over a joint that we're ignoring the bigger problem that healthcare sucks. And it's a lot cheaper
Exactly.
for a cancer patient to go to the dispensary and get some pot where before they're going from the guy on the street than it is to pay the thousands and thousands of dollars for painkillers.
Exactly. You know what's so funny, right? Once my doctor approved it, and I have a yoga buddy who's actually a retired doctor,
Hmm.
and we got to talking and whatnot. And as a yoga after yoga, we talk, sit around, talk and whatnot. So he says, Trent, I got an alternative for you if your doctor can approve it. I was like, what are you talking about? So he started telling me how he makes them. He makes I call them treats. He makes
Hmm.
the treats, right?
Right.
So we talking about a 75-year-old retired doctor who yogas with me. And
Uh-huh.
so after I got my first batch from him, when I first started dealing with him, I said, isn't that ironic? He said, what is that? I said, a lot of brothers are locked up for what you're doing. He starts laughing. He starts laughing. He was, I've always been in favor of it. But now that he's away from the medical field, he's a retired doctor. He could actually say what he really want to say. He could really say what he could really want to say and the
Yeah.
benefits of it. But I find that quite strange. Not actually, it's not strange to me, but to have all these people locked up for marijuana when I'm literally getting it from a retired doctor.
Listen, man.
Very,
Here's the thing. I was looking up because I was like, you know what? In the black community right now in Maryland, there's we have a bunch of dispensaries. The
right,
cost to open a dispensary, like a grower's license in Maryland, is $50,000. A processor license is 25,000. A dispensary license 25,000. These are just a license. A
exactly,
micro license, a micro grower 10,000. On-site consumption 10,000. Like, and it goes up and up and up and up and up. And I
exactly,
was like, well, geez, I could make some of this stuff. And then I'm like, I don't have $60,000.
exactly. They're gonna find a way to regulate it. They're gonna find a way to regulate it and get that money out of the consumers. They're gonna find it. They're gonna find a way to regulate it. But here's the thing: the most important thing for me is I knew a lot of this stuff already, but I wanted to refresh my memory on the benefits of medical marijuana for
Mhm.
chronic pain, especially inflammation. That's very important. Inflammation, and for the ladies, fibromyalgia.
Mm-hmm.
Fibro. Am I pronouncing that correct?
Fibromyalgia. Yeah.
Fibromyalgia.
Yeah.
Correct. Arthritis. All that stuff, man. All that stuff is benefit. Medical marijuana, that's a huge benefit to those chronic diseases,
Mhm.
chronic diseases, multiple sclerosis, all that stuff. But they don't promote that stuff. I'll give you another
Yeah.
example. I was diagnosed with glaucoma. It's a history of my family. My father had it, my mother had it, I got it.
Mhm.
So I had to take drops every evening, once a day, every evening, every night. So I was talking to my eye doctor. Every 3 months, I have to get my eyes checked for the pressure behind my eyeballs, right?
Right.
So the numbers were extremely well one day. So she said, Trent, what are you doing? Are you're taking double eye drops? I was like, nah. I said, I have to be honest with you. My doctor prescribed medical marijuana for me. And she said, to be honest with you, I'm not supposed to say it, but the medical marijuana is way better than the eye drops. It works 10 times
Wow.
better. And she said, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah,
The
because it's a
pressure behind
natural
my
product.
eyeball. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's a natural product.
That's
It's
it.
an herb. People
Yeah.
like. I have a book somewhere around here about herbal remedies, like all the stuff that was done in the old days that we've forgotten about
Right.
that worked, and now we get caught up in whatever the next medicine is, and people are starting to move back towards the herbal remedies.
Exactly, man. I mean,
Mhm.
when I tell you, man, that's the best thing my doctor could have done for me was prescribe that to me, man, because I feel so much better. I don't feel icky with taking the pills or anything like that. It lowers the blood pressure, which is a plus for me, way
Yeah.
plus for me. Along what's the most important thing is the inflammation as far as with the nervous system, with the damaged nerves on my left side. But it's been very, very positive for me. Very positive.
Yeah. There's, you know what? Here's the thing. There's a stigma about it because, and but you know what the difference is? And I
What's
laugh
that?
because I talk about the war on drugs all the time. So when there
Mhm.
was a war on crack, and it was a black drug, the
Right,
government made it black.
right.
Did you know there's any? Did you see any Narcon in any libraries to help black folk who ODing? No, man. Now there's an
No,
opiate crisis. Opiate crisis. Black people can't even get painkillers at hospitals, and they got
Mhm.
exactly.
everybody carrying Narcan to help with people ODing on opiates.
But
Like
now
I
they
had a
got programs for opioids and everything now.
Mhm.
I had a C-section. All I got was Tylenol. I couldn't even get a painkiller. And people are like,
Wow.
yeah, people are
Yeah,
like, well, why can you get them? I'm like, you see this place? This place doesn't get opiates willy nilly. That's not
exactly.
me. That's the suburban soccer mom stuff. And
No,
the
but the
same thing
funny
with
thing is, man,
medical marijuana.
people will hear that kind of talk. They'll hear that kind of talk and say, "Oh, she's just pro-black." Nah, this is the truth.
Listen,
This
I
is
can
the
pull up
truth.
study after study. I know that if I take Xavier to the hospital, if Xavier goes to the hospital, break his arm, there's a white kid broke his arm next to him, that white kid will get painkillers. I will have to fight for him to get painkillers. They have done studies.
Wow.
Exactly.
They have done studies,
Exactly.
and they've equaled out education and financial status. So two people
That's
the
real talk.
exact same money, exact same insurance will go in. They we would fight, and you know what? It is what it is. I am well aware of it. That's why his doctor and his dentist are people of color because I know I know the game. So
Exactly.
it's
And
like them
another
talking.
thing a lot of folks don't realize, right? We talk about CBD, the CBDs and whatnot and all that stuff. And I have both. I have the marijuana and the CBDs, and it's all natural. But with the CBDs, you have to be a little careful with that. I wouldn't recommend crossing that with opioids if you're on any type of opioids or anything like that.
You know,
Do not take the CBDs with
Mm.
opioids. Don't do it. That's not beneficial for you. It's not beneficial for your health
well, you shouldn't be
at
taking
all.
anything if you're taking. You shouldn't be mixing medication anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Wow.
Exactly.
I have some CB. Let me turn my camera off for 1 quick second. I'll be right back.
Okay, gotcha. What's going on with church? What you doing? What you eating dinner over there?
Yeah.
That's all good. It's all good. So have you ever heard it? You've heard of CBDs, right?
I've taken it.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I've taken
Very
it.
natural. Very
I took
natural.
it. I started. I don't still do it, but I was putting it in my coffee.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Oh, so it was dissolving in your coffee? You were
it was
dissolving in your
drops.
coffee? Okay.
It was drops. It was oil
Okay.
drops,
Gotcha. All drops. Gotcha.
and I would use it in my coffee. It would help with hormonal hot flashes.
Okay.
It helped a
Okay.
lot. It didn't help regulate my body as far as for like my hormonal imbalance,
Mm-hmm.
but it did help with hot flashes.
Okay.
But ultimately,
Right.
I had to resort to Big Pharma
Really?
to really have Big Pharma, because Big Pharma, that's the push, Big Pharma, and not,
Exactly.
medicinal marijuana.
I'm gonna
That's
be
just
honest with you, man. My doctor prescribed me with the spasm because I have chronic
mm-hmm,
spasms, muscle spasms, right? I'm
mm-hmm,
talking about brutal, very brutal. But I'd
right,
rather leave those spasm pills sitting on my desk, take the
and do you,
marijuana and yoga and work out.
uh-huh,
So all of my gym buddies like, man, you need to take those pills. No, I don't. No, I
right,
don't.
right.
I'd rather do the work. I'd rather do the work.
Let
I'd
me
rather
tell you
do the
something.
work.
Let
I
me tell
just
you a
can't
story.
take it like that.
A few years ago, a few years ago, a friend of mine, two friends of mine connected and got married, just
Mhm.
from life. And one of the friends would always post every couple of hours something nice that the other friend, her husband, had done, right?
Right.
And so I don't see her at all, but it's my friend through life. And every time she would post a bear or balloons or candy or a purse or whatever she would post,
Right.
I would see these 50 prescriptions.
Oh wow.
That's why like people got to be careful what they post. I would see these 50 prescriptions all lined up. And I said
Mhm.
to my thought process is, historically, we're so easy to go back to Big Mama's way when we would see
Right.
our grandmother or our your parent or whatever with
Right.
9 to 12. They remember the pill bottles they have and all of that. And honestly, if
Mhm.
you wouldn't be doing your remedy, you would be that person with, I gotta have every pill Monday through Friday. And I
Right.
used to see my grandma sit there and you know
Pick 'em up.
count
Pick
it
'em
out.
up. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I was doing a podcast with Catherine over in France
Uh-huh.
a couple of podcasts ago. We'd be
Mm-hmm.
talking about nutrition on that program.
Uh-huh.
And something she said was very profound, right? She was
Uh-huh.
like, a lot of people don't realize that our bodies are the prescriptions. We have the prescription within us to heal
It
ourselves.
is.
Our
Right.
bodies are the prescriptions. I thought that was so profound. I've never heard it said like that. I've never heard it
Right.
stated like that before. I find it very,
Right.
very, very profound. Let me say hi to Tamika. I see you, Tamika. That's one of my gym buddies, one of my favorite gym buddies. Hey, sis, how you doing? Tamika and Mike over there, her husband Mike. They
Oh
come to the
yeah.
gym every single day. We good for them.
Yeah.
We became family at this point. So good to see you,
Yeah.
Tamika. Yeah, good stuff, man. Good stuff. But so what's your thoughts on medical marijuana?
You talking about, you asking me?
Yeah, what's your thoughts on it?
So actually I have a couple of family members who has resorted to medicinal marijuana because it's a better outcome for them.
It is. It
But
is.
of course, um I will say that I'm from a very traditional household, and
Mm-hmm.
you know I don't I can't go around saying this is the resources I use. I have to say that I do medicinal, I mean not medicinal, I use Big Pharma to get well. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? But I
I
will
can't
say
say it,
that
Urs. I'm sorry. I can't say it. I cannot
I,
say
I
it.
I would have to go on record saying that. That's what I would have to say.
I
But
got you.
um
Oh, that's
in the
right,
past,
because your sister. That's because your sister, right?
yeah, but it's just funny. But I don't know if she's seen the show tonight yet. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
yeah. So,
she probably will see it.
right.
And so I'm saying that I would go on record saying
Mm-hmm.
um that I use Big Pharma. But of course I have a younger brother. He doesn't do um medicinal. I
Straight
have a couple of younger
recreational.
brothers. I have a couple of younger brothers. My younger brother that didn't grow up in a house with me, but he's like family because he grew up down the street. They use the regular stuff, that and I have other friends. They use regular stuff, and periodically they've shared the regular stuff with me, and I don't get an opportunity to indulge as much because of the kind of work I do. But I mean, the older I get, and the less I have to be accountable. And I don't have to work
tell you, man.
Anybody.
Here's the difference.
On my own,
Here's the difference between.
I'm gonna be with my little brothers.
Here's the difference between taking miracle marijuana after the gym and spasm pills and pain pills and all that stuff after the gym, right? Because after a good workout, my muscles are aching, my nervous system is breaking down. Because when you work out, as you work out,
right?
Your body breaks down every day that you work out,
right?
But me, when I come home, I have my noon nap. I get, I walk Kobe with cardio. I do a workout after the workout. After I get in, walking in, doing a little more cardio. Get inside, eat. I take the miracle marijuana and have my afternoon nap, right? I wake up so much better. Like my mind is clear, my body feels great. Opposed to when I take the medicine, I feel groggy, I feel icky, and it's like I'm like, I even told my doctor, I was like, man, why does it feel like these spasm pills are activating these muscles like that?
Right.
And she was like, because it is.
Right.
I was like, I don't like that.
Right. And then, I mean, if you use, not sorry to interrupt you, if you use Big Pharma, you have all of these different pills you have to take to combat different things. And if if that's the if you're doing a medical, you know what I'm saying, marijuana, or medicinal marijuana.
I've never heard that term, so I'll start using it.
Yes, it's called medicinal marijuana.
The proper term is what's that word again?
Medicinal.
Medicinal.
Medicinal marijuana. Like medical, medicinal marijuana.
It's a totally different experience, totally different feeling when I wake up after my nap from the gym.
Right.
Totally different feeling, And I was telling my doctor, I was like, there's a complete difference here, man. There's a complete difference. I push back, and as far as anybody who's dealing with a chronic illness or coming off of a bleed off the brain, a stroke, or whatever it is, right? You're in control of your medical situation, not your doctor.
That's right. That's
your
right.
Doctor's you're only consulting your doctor. That's it. That's it. That's it. It's called practicing medicine for a reason.
That's right. And there's so many different ways to look at it, and there's so many different things that we could say and talk about. So many avenues we could approach it at, because you're thinking back to like we can go far back as to the 70s and just think today all the way till now, how certain cultures of people, how they longevity look versus other people who were not following any kind of typical diet, or people used to be like, oh, a certain family member is on drugs or whatever, because back in if we had to go just to the 90s, the dilemma, well, the what's the word I want to use? What was
hold on 1 second. Help me out here for a second, Nurse. Did I pull Dee out and put her in the studio? Or did they pull herself out? I see she's back in the studio.
No, yeah, she needs to come back. She didn't. Do you still you see it? She said she had to get off camera for a minute.
No, she's still there. I don't think I pulled her back, right? She pulled herself back, right?
Yeah, she said she was gonna take a break. She had to get off the camera.
I see what she's doing. She's doing something. I see her. Okay.
Oh, okay.
She'll be here in a second.
So the push in the 90s was hugs, not drugs, and marijuana. Of course, we thought different people was going to jail, and it probably really was because they were selling marijuana or whatever. But
Right, right,
to me, that's all linked to not the agenda. It's another word I want to use. But when we make things bad, and
right, right,
instead
right.
of trying to see if it could be resourceful, all
Exactly.
along they know they were studying it. You know what I'm saying? They know they were
Exactly.
studying it on lab rats and all of that. They was study, and no one ever knows it. You know what I'm saying? No one ever knows
Exactly.
what's really going on. So if you think about family who did it, and think about the longevity of how their life was stood versus somebody who took medicine, you know what I'm saying? You would probably be like, I just don't understand how Uncle James got to be 95 years old and he was doing all of this, and grandma, didn't even make it to 72. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah,
And so, and it's just so crazy, because it's like almost the government. I don't want to use words like that, but it's an agenda that gets pushed on us. Yeah. An agenda get pushed on us. We get told how to think. You know what I'm saying? You turn on a TV, and I mean, the funniest thing that I used to laugh about is, I think it was one of those comedians would say, 1 year in 93, they may say, don't, use this medicine, is good for all of these different things. And then by 95, they say, if you are a family member, use this here, that was good for all of that. And as a result, died. You know what I'm saying? It lets you know that the stuff that they really try to,
for example, man, once when I, the situation I found myself in, I started paying attention to my body more, right? I was never a bad eater, but I started seeing things that heal my mind, because, with the bleed on the brain, you lose oxygen. That's what causes a stroke. You lose oxygen to your
right, to
brain.
your brain, right.
So, I lost oxygen to my brain for a few minutes there, and it damaged some things up there. But one of the things that I eat consistently, I've always eaten, even before this situation, an avocado. I eat avocado raw. I put it
Dee
in a
said she ready to
salad.
come back.
Oh, she'll pull herself in. She got
No,
access
no,
to that.
no. She don't have access to it. She said, y'all gonna let me back on? You have to pull her in.
Hold on one second. Hey, did I pull you up?
I sent you a text like 20 minutes ago to let me back in.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thought
That's
you
what
did.
you was holding up your
Yeah,
phone.
I was like, check your phone.
Yeah,
I thought you were saying you were on the phone. I'm sorry. I turn these phones on mute when I go
Boy, I
to
had to sign up for an account, go to YouTube, link the account so I could send you a message.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm sorry.
I went to get what my doctor suggested. I have to hide them because I don't want Xavier to get his hands on them.
Right.
So I have and this is not a sponsored ad, just so we know.
What is that? Please tell them.
So these are the ones I have. They're Aspen Green.
Okay, that's the CBDs, right?
Yeah, these are organic CBD gummies, full spectrum.
The gel caps. That's the gel caps.
No, so these are. Little gummies.
Yeah, there it is. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay, a gummy.
Yeah.
So I got the gel caps of the CBDs.
Yeah, I don't like taking pills, so I don't.
Wow.
But with these, you have to be careful because you have to know what your weight is and how much to take based on your weight.
Exactly.
Oh. Yeah, because this is 25 milligrams CBD and 2.5 milligrams THC in these. And these are the bad boys to make you feel good. They're 100 milligrams CBD,
oh, yeah.
5 milligrams THC.
Oh yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, it goes straight to the nervous system. Straight to the muscles. Yeah. Straight to the system.
I use them to sleep because I have PTSD, so I'm a really light sleeper. Any noise and anxiety and all that stuff. But it's I think people should be very careful about what kind of recommendations they're getting and who they're getting the recommendation from, and make sure that they do some research on whatever product people are giving them, because not everything is what everybody says it is.
Absolutely.
Look at your vitamins and see what fillers there are in them and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, like again, let's talk about the benefits to multiple sclerosis. MS is one of and it attacks
Wow.
the nervous system, the central nervous system. It
Yeah.
actually assists in helping the central nervous system. And I could actually vouch for that with the nervous system on my left side, what I go through daily with it. But when I tell you it's the best thing that's ever happened to me, as far as managing the pain and dealing with the chronic aches and what have you, it's holistic.
Yeah.
Holistic is the way to go for me
Wow.
personally, for me, in my opinion. Holistic is the way to go.
Listen, I tell everybody they should research and have a herb garden,
Yeah,
whether it's just on their balcony, in their kitchen window, in their backyard.
yeah,
Just have an herb garden so that you can grow your own, so you know exactly where it's coming from, your own herbs, so you know where they're coming from. Get a license if you're growing
Uh-huh.
those herbs,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
To make sure you don't get yourself in trouble. Don't call me because I told you to get a license. So,
I
but
share I share a, I share a story with you guys when my mother was going through breast cancer, right?
mm,
That's when I started running 4 and 5 miles a day to encourage her, to keep going and whatnot. So I started running 4 and 5 miles a day. Then alongside of that, I built two 24-foot gardens
mm,
with herbs and spices and everything, right?
yeah,
So
Mm-hmm.
she didn't even have to go through the chemo. She took a little bit of radiation, but we ate out of the garden in the backyard the entire time of that process. She beat cancer and everything, eating out of the backyard.
Wow.
I had
Wow.
greens, I had cabbage, I had broccoli, all types of stuff, watermelon, everything, everything,
Wow.
everything you could think of, I had it. Two 24-foot
Wow.
gardens plus cucumbers, tomato, everything. So she would eat out of the garden. But it was a time, it was a challenge getting her to eat out of that garden like that because she was so
Hmm.
accustomed to eating dirty at that point. You know what I'm saying? But
Right. Right.
once she got a hold to it, she started eating all the stuff out of the garden. And she beat cancer. She
You know what's
literally beat it.
yeah, you know what's amazing to me is I recently, well, I've been working out for a few years, but I would say the last year and a half, I recently started trying to make hold myself accountable for eating more vegetables.
Yeah, man.
Unfortunately, fruit and vegetables. Unfortunately, I don't get to grow any of it. But just being conscious about eating more healthier or eating a healthier
Right.
diet. And I'll be honest and tell you, when you eat clean or you eat healthy, when you change your diet, your body
That's true.
tells you,
Exactly.
listen, it knows when you're putting trash in it, and it responds accordingly. So
Exactly.
I will
I
say
was
that
doing
about herbs.
I was doing a podcast last Thursday with Catherine, right? And she wanted to interview me on the stroke and the bleed on the brain and whatnot. So a couple of questions she was asking me, and one question she asked me and I answered. She said, "How do you feel about your body now?" And I was telling her I'm in love with my body because
Right,
my body speaks to me now. The
right,
the cleaner stuff that
right,
you put in your body, what I've learned, my personal
right,
experience, my body started speaking to me.
right,
I started hitting on all cylinders. Like my
right,
gym buddies could tell you, like Tamika and Mike and all those folks. They, when I came to the gym, I'm like 75, 100% better walking and everything. I was a mess, man. I was still touch and go. But
right,
once I started eating clean, and I thought I really was eating clean before, but I really wasn't. I
right,
really wasn't.
right, right,
You know,
right, right, right,
but the moment I started doing that, my body started speaking to me.
right. It
You know,
does. It does. It
exactly,
does let you know when you treat
exactly,
it right, it lets you know. And it's so
yeah.
exactly.
crazy because here's another hard thing that I'm gonna say.
Go ahead.
It also gets accustomed to when you treat it bad.
That's true.
And um it tells a story too.
Exactly.
Because ultimately our body's telling us what it wants, if we don't. I recently had a whole episode where I had to go to the emergency room, and it was because my body was telling me it's been 100 degrees outside. You steady been
Yeah,
pushing all summer, and now you're dehydrated. So your body tells you what it needs.
absolutely.
So yes. And like I will say, even in me being dehydrated, the body also tells the mind when, it's all one big machine and it works accordingly.
Exactly.
So again, when we kind of go and put things that isn't good for it in it, you know, like big pharma.
Absolutely.
I don't want to say that, but different things you put in it. And you have those 50 pills, and they counteract. Sometimes pills counteract. So it's just best, like you say, to do your research.
Exactly. Let's get back.
Um,
Let's get back to this. Let's get back to this regulation and why did it take? And D, this is your lane right here. Why did it take the Justice Department so long? 30 years. California passed that law on marijuana. 30 years. Why do you think it took so long?
Because prisons make money.
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Prisons bring in a lot of money. One second, my battery's dying. Here's the thing people seem to forget. There's prison jobs. Prisons are making and selling product, and those products are sold for a profit because the prisoners are not making minimum wage. They're making
Right.
what a dollar a day, maybe if that.
If that. Yeah.
And so, like Angola is a fine example. Angola is still a working plantation. The prisoners working in Angola are the descendants of the slaves who worked Angola. It has
Wow.
not changed, and people try to pretend that doesn't happen. Like I was having a
Right.
conversation with somebody that was in denial that slave ships were built in Newfoundland. I'm like, Newfoundland Screech, which is like the drink of Newfoundland, is Jamaican rum. Where the heck do you
Right.
think we got the Jamaican rum from? It's the boats that went to Jamaica with the
Exactly.
codfish. They brought the rum back, and so prisons make a lot of money. Private prisons make even more money. That's why we have the school to prison pipeline, right?
Exactly.
Discipline, over discipline, get them into juvie system, get them into prison. The
Wow.
more beds that are filled, the more money that's made, right? That's why we have not all these people are getting out. Like if they legalize it federal law, they would have to get rid of all the prisoners that they are still putting people in jail for dope.
Yeah.
People are
Yeah.
still going to jail for
Wow.
that, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, here's the thing: some of these dope boys need to get themselves legal because they are true hustlers and they already have a customer base,
Yeah.
right? Like, boy, if you're on the block and you're watching this, get yourself legal, get a dispensary, and you're gonna make money hand over fist legally, and nobody's gonna touch
Absolutely.
you,
Wow.
right? That's it.
Yeah.
It's money. Everything's money. We're living
But
in a
honestly,
capitalist society.
if they really want to play fair, those are the guys that they should contact because they have all the contact as far as
Oh,
the customer base.
so this is how they do that. So Maryland has a lottery. So
Uh-huh.
the first set of tickets were going out to the people disenfranchised and were affected by the drug laws. But
Uh-huh.
the fees are so outrageous that those folks can't afford the $80,000
Exactly.
for the fees, right? So then you have to get somebody that are non-melanated folks involved. That's why the dispensaries all look like Apple stores, right?
Mm,
Hmm.
They're very,
Wow.
like
Yeah.
when you dig down and when you look at it, there's a reason for everything, right?
exactly.
And America, like it or not, runs on making sure the marginalized people, whoever they happen to be at that point,
Hmm.
are not the ones who are benefiting the most. So if I
Absolutely.
had $100,000, I would use my very Canadian accent when I call and do everything over the phone, so they never see me.
Right.
because Canadian D gets a lot more done than Dion.
Well, I didn't even see Slash over there, man. I see now. I'm looking at. I see now. You're saying let me back in. Oh, that's
Slash
okay.
asked me if I went on break. No, I didn't go on break. Old man there didn't look at his phone. I could have left and he wouldn't even know. And he'd be like, "Oh, she's just doing something." Yeah, waiting is what I'm doing.
I could see you in the studio, but I'm thinking you were doing something.
You're the only one that can let people in. Yeah.
I didn't know.
So here's the thing. This is what I tell everybody. Everybody should have a garden, even if it's like one pot with a light. Everybody should have a garden. Get some seeds. And here's the thing. You can get seeds from food that you buy. If you buy tomatoes, you can get tomato seeds. You buy cucumbers, you get cucumber seeds. So you don't have to pay for seeds. You already have them if you're eating them, right? Use those to regenerate to your plants, right? Grow your plants from seed, and then you can transplant some. Some you'll have to grow from seed. Go to the library. Get a book. That way you can do that. If you want, I use an app. It's called Grow Veg. GROWVEG. It plans everything out for you. Because I have ADHD, so I can't remember what went where, when, and why. Right?
Speaking of seeds, like Coach D's always been doing planning and stuff like that and garden stuff. But I have to tell you, folks, 1 out of the 3 here has a natural green thumb on a platform. I'm not gonna say who has the green thumb, but 1 out of the 3 of us have a natural green thumb. I get it in with the garden. I used to as well, so I used to get it in with the garden.
1 out of the 3, sir.
1 out of the 3 has a serious green thumb.
Yeah, no, I think it's more than 1. You're trying to hype yourself up a little bit. I've been growing gardens since I was like 6 years old.
She has actually D was put me up on planting and all this. I was like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm doing this. I'm like, okay.
Homemade tomatoes taste way better than store bought. Because remember, anything that you buy in the store is not picked out. Anything you buy in the store is not picked ripe. It picks so it can ripe as a
I know.
Right?
I know.
So you want ripe tomatoes.
And it has pesticides and it has pesticides and the that stuff they was talking about a couple of years ago, Roundup.
Exactly.
Listen, there's nothing better than a cold February morning, open up a jar of homemade jam on some fresh homemade bread. It's good.
Here's what's so rewarding for me, my personal experience with gardening, right? There's nothing better than throwing seeds into the ground and working that soil and watching something edible comes back.
That's really cool.
That's so rewarding to me, man. Planting that. You know what I'm saying? I make my own fish oil and all that stuff. And I used to. I can't get down on the ground now. I'm actually looking into getting a raised garden. But it's so rewarding, man. When you throw seeds in the ground and something edible comes back.
Wow.
It's rewarding. It's rewarding.
Yeah, if you can't grow a garden, get some microgreens. All you need is a little tray and the light, and you got your microgreens. And the smoothie, you're good. Yeah. It's amazing. Slash should put in a comment. Prohibition of cannabis in Louisiana generally either 1924 and 1927. Despite this law, newspaper accounts of contemporaneous cannabis used in NOLA in 1930, there was only 30 marijuana convictions. Okay.
Where did that come from, Slash? Because
Google. Slash is just Googling.
It said it's only 30 convictions?
Probably in 1930.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. But here's the thing. If you do go a garden, one hint for you, never grow mint in a garden. Always keep it in a container. Otherwise, you will have mint everywhere. Because mint spreads like crazy.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. But yeah.
Mint is good
like
too.
That's just like when I was doing some watermelons, right? So my mother wanted watermelons. So she's like, why don't you try and do watermelons? So this was my first time doing them. So I did a whole patch. That watermelon ran way past the 24 foot. Mm-hmm. Way past. The vines just running through, take over the entire garden. Yeah,
Yep. You have to be
you gotta
careful
be
what you're
mindful.
planting.
Yeah, you gotta be mindful. Very
You got to
mindful.
plan that puppy out so you know exactly what you planted, like draw a picture,
Exactly.
all that good stuff. But you know what? And people can. It's not too late to grow a garden. Some
No,
areas
not at all.
it's September. You can do a fall garden if you're in the colder climates like up here. If you're down
Yeah.
south, there's still plenty of grow time available. So take a look at
And honestly,
see what you're
here
growing.
in New Orleans, the best time for planting, like for me, personally for me, would be the fall. I love fall planting. I love fall gardening. Like the summer stuff is cool, the spring stuff is cool, but the fall, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Your potatoes and your onions and your garlic and your ginger.
Garlic, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't ever buy ginger. Buy one piece and then plant it. Set up and
And
plant
let
it and
it
you
go.
have ginger.
Yeah. And let it go. Let it go.
Yeah.
So all that
Because
holistic stuff, man, is really good. Really good. But that miracle marijuana, that's where it's at for me personally. That's where it's at for me personally, you know. So I would encourage anyone dealing with chronic pain or, the nervous systems, your nervous system breaking down or your muscles or arthritis or MS or anything like that, or fibromyalgia, anyone dealing with that, man, try cannabis, man.
yeah, anxiety,
Try
depression.
cannabis.
Just don't
Yeah,
drive under the influence. Just like with anything, don't drive while you're intoxicated. Right? Stay safe.
absolutely.
It does not heighten your response time. It slows you down. So let's not play games. We want to make sure
Exactly.
everybody's safe on the road. And because our families are out there, we want to make sure you come home safe and everybody else that's out there comes home safe too.
Exactly. And the most important thing, what you guys probably don't know, inflammation in the body. That's
Yeah.
what all this stuff is attracted to. That's what cancer is attracted to. That's what all those chronic pains are attracted to. Inflammation in the body. Cannabis suppresses inflammation.
If you don't want to
Right.
take cannabis, make golden milk, almond milk,
Yeah,
turmeric, honey, and cinnamon.
exactly.
And that will reduce inflammation as well. Turmeric is amazing.
Is I keep turmeric here with my ginger juice, my ginger and lemon juice, along with turmeric. I
Mm-hmm.
drink this daily,
Yeah.
daily. So, yeah, man, holistic is the way to go, in my opinion. I look better, and a lot of people be so surprised when I tell them, I'm coming back from a bleed on the brain. I'm coming back from a,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with you. I'm like, yeah, it is, but the way I eat, what I consume, makes me look this way.
Right. Right.
So,
Hey
yeah,
Trent, how old are you too? Because I know you got a little age on you too, right?
I'm 54, feeling like I'm 25.
Yeah, I knew you were older than me. So you're 54, you said?
I'm
Mm-hmm.
54, 54.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like I'm
yeah.
20. I feel, I'm feeling and looking like I'm 25. I tease my
Yeah,
brothers all the time, tell them I'm a whole snack out you in these streets.
yeah, I know you.
I
Yeah,
am the most comfortable person with a different ability you'll ever meet. I'm so comfortable within my skin.
Yeah.
yeah,
And you guys know this arm doesn't work, but I don't see it that way.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, we
I
talked
don't
about
see
that
it that way.
earlier too. You know,
Yeah, we did.
making sure that you're it all goes hand in hand. The way you handle yourself physically, it shows
Exactly.
mentally. The things that you deal with
Exactly.
mentally, it tells a story physically. So
Alex says ginger juice is nasty.
I'm glad he said that. Let me tell you a funny story about that, right? So this had to be about maybe 3 years ago, 2.5, 3 years ago. You remember that last storm that came through here, Ida? So I had to go to Alvin's house. So I had to, go to Alvin's house, and no, it was 4 years. I think it was 4 years. So I took my ginger juice with me. So as we were waiting it out, and before we go to Texas, he didn't know that I was drinking ginger juice, and it looks like from when you're looking at it in the jug, it looks like lemonade.
right,
So I just, Brandy just put it in the refrigerator and just left it in his refrigerator. So I heard I'm in his living room watching TV, and he yelled out, "Oh shit!" So I was like, what's going on? I'm thinking he fell or something like that. He's like, man, what is the bleep is that? I said, what you talking about? What's in that jug? I thought that was lemonade. I said, nah, that's ginger juice. I said, that's what you get for putting your lips on my stuff. And yeah, that ginger juice is a lifesaver, man. It suppresses the
Right.
inflammation, lowers blood pressure. Like my blood pressure, like at 114 over 30, over 25, stuff like
Just
that.
make sure you go to talk to a doctor before you take it, because you have to be careful if you have diabetes or heart issues.
Yeah,
with ginger juice, because it does thin the blood.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
For me, it's actually a good thing. Thinning the blood for me is a good thing for me.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing. You just have to make sure that you go through it and just research everything.
Yeah, absolutely. But that cannabis is the way to go, in my opinion, man. I'm an advocate for it, so I really appreciate, it's a game changer for me as far as marijuana, medical marijuana. It's a game changer for me. So.
Slash says, has anybody seen the Netflix doc "Grass is Greener" by Yo MTV Raps Fab Five Freddy? It breaks down how cannabis was banned and why it was stigmatized. I have not seen it, but I will take a look.
Exactly. Is it on Netflix? Yeah, he says
yeah,
Netflix.
on Netflix.
I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, but you know what? The things that grow from the earth, especially if they're grown locally, are always better for you. Like if I have a sore throat, I immediately get some honey from the beekeeper a mile away, and
wow,
right as rain, right quick.
Right.
You are a product of your environment, so whatever's closest to you. That's why homegrown always tastes so good, because your body knows it's like
homegrown.
Yeah, it's right there. Exactly. It's from the same dirt you walk on every day.
Mm-hmm.
Flash, I don't know if he says African ginger juice. I'm not sure if it's African ginger juice, but it was recommended from my nutritionist, who's happened to be an African. So I'm not sure.
Ginger, as long as it's real ginger.
Yeah, the ginger root. I'm not talking about I'm talking about ginger root, the real ginger. So yeah.
Not ginger ale. We all know about ginger ale.
No, not at all. Not at all. That's good stuff, man. Tell the folks what you guys got going on. We got two Let's Gumbo Talk the rest of the way. What y'all got going on? Hey, I didn't see that reel you were talking about doing, Ernst. What happened to it?
I did it.
You did?
Yeah, I did one today. I really need to get more into doing them. I know y'all say, Ernst, get out there. But I have to be honest and say that I've had some things going on, and it just kind of, I'm really feeling flatlined.
Why? What's wrong?
That happens.
We can talk offline.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. I got you. But the benefits to constantly doing those videos, like I told you, monetizing, and that stuff could take off, really good, good space.
Yeah.
Put you in a good space, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But,
right.
And you just have to, even if you not comfortable with the camera, you just go for it.
Yeah.
Coach D and I've been doing excuse me, Coach D and I've been doing this thing forever. So it's it becomes natural for us, but
right.
I
posted one today. Today's one was really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
What it was
I
about?
actually like your post today too.
Which one? Which one?
I forgot what it said because I'm
was it the daily quotes or a blog?
You went for a walk this morning?
Oh yeah. Oh, I was talking about complainer, like asking people, "Are you a complainer?"
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. That was it.
Yeah. Like, why complain when you just? To me, if I let me give you an example. If I complained through this entire process, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now.
Right.
Complaining about it wastes time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Where I could be doing other things. I could be working on this arm, getting it to move, doing everything. Complaining about, this arm is not, it's halfway working. Now I'm at 40%, 50%. If I focus on that 50%, I'll never get to the 100.
Right.
So I don't believe in complaining at all.
Yeah.
And I
just do. I'm gonna say you don't complain. You don't complain.
I
You
just, I
don't
just
compare. I
do
will say that. Never
it.
did. Never really did though.
Nah, never, not at
Yes, you
all.
did. You did, sir.
Stop. D, stop.
Oh. Well, maybe we know two different people, D. I don't know.
That's very possible.
Well, you
Very
know I'm a
possible.
Gemini, so hey.
Boy.
Hey.
All right. But anyway, yes, Xavier's going off to his friend's house tomorrow, so I'll have a good 6 hours to get my website, all my stuff taken off Shopify and put on my website, so I can get all that updated and get some email forwarding going, so that I can do that. And
Good stuff.
you'll start
Good
seeing
stuff.
more TikTok videos and some Pinterest stuff and everything like that going.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Good
back to
stuff.
I did
school.
yeah. So I did my TikTok today. I did a TikTok today about, you know, when you being in a common community and our the people who you are the most closest to,
Hmm.
you compare your lifestyles a lot. And while you do have so many things in common, it's the things that we have difference that really, bring people into a healthy situation. It's your differences.
Hmm.
And sometimes
Right.
we really get caught up with the crabs in a barrel mentality about, like, comparing so much because we find so much in common. We start to have a crab in a barrel mentality and don't
Right.
think that the things that we have different from each other, especially when you talk about aligning yourself with your goals versus the person you have something in common
Right.
with and how they align with their goals. I kind of talked about that's what my reel was about. Like, don't
Okay.
always think about the differences that we have and how you can be like that person. Be the best self that you can be for yourself. And that's what you bring to other people, the best you.
We get so consumed with in this fast paced life. Even before this fast paced life, we're always watching the Joneses and whatnot. And
Yeah.
this is where we stumble, in my opinion. This is where we stumble. If I'm watching what D is doing, well, let me see what D put up on her store, so I could actually let me.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter. That has nothing to do with me. What
Right.
D's
I
doing
have
is
Right.
what D's doing.
I have a T-shirt somewhere in my closet that I made up that says, "I am my own competition." And I
Yeah.
think
Exactly.
we should talk about that next week about
That'll be a
internal
good one.
competition versus keeping up with the Joneses.
That'll be
Yeah.
a good one.
Yeah.
That'll definitely be a
Yeah.
good one. Definitely be a good one. Look at Kobe. He's always in competition trying to get in the camera.
Hey,
But
Kobe. Oh, guess Xavier and I are going to have a new family member come Thanksgiving.
is that right?
I,
Well, did you get a
yep.
dog?
No, we got a Maine Coon kitten. He was born the other day, black smoke kitten. So he's no pictures yet because he's baby new. So
Right, right,
I'll
right.
share once I get some pictures of him. So
That's good stuff,
I'm
man.
looking
Real
forward to
good
it.
stuff. Speaking of animals, Kobe made the recovery book as well. I speak on how important it is to have an animal while going through the recovery. So he made the book as well. So good stuff. And the recovery book is available. It will be available. So I'm working out the details with the Barnes Noble for the book signing as we speak. So I'm very proud of that work, man, because I still have the recovery book, the novel, but I decided to do the recovery book as far as giving people content, people with a different ability who hasn't walked that path yet. So I burned that trail, blazed it, set it afire so people could find their way. People with different abilities could find their way. Because I thought that, it's more important to show these people the way and help them instead of just giving them a novel of the drama that went along with the recovery in my life. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to help these people get along because it's a tough road, man. So I walked that thornfield path so they wouldn't have to. It'll be a little easier for them. I
Yeah.
laid it out. It's a guideline to the recovery from a bleed on the brain, paralyzation, stroke, everything. I talk about everything in that book as far as how to get to the next level. I talk about mindsets, healthy mindsets, everything. So it's a guide for help. It's a guide for help for medical fitness, and very proud of that work, man. Very proud. Very excited for you guys to get it. So you'll be able to get actually you can get a preview of it right now on Kindle at Amazon. The recovery. It's on Kindle. You guys get a preview of it for for 99 cents on Amazon. Just search out Author Trent Williams, The Recovery Book. It'll pull it up on a Kindle, so you can get it for 99 cents. Check out the preview before the release. So good stuff, man. Let me get off the soapbox. You guys go ahead.
I'm good. I'm ready to say goodnight. It is after 9. I gotta get little man in the shower because you know how 10-year-old boys are. If they're not supervised, they're not gonna get wet. I don't know why.
You guys, any closing remarks?
Eat your vegetables. Eat local if you can. And just take care of yourself and love you all. And I'll see you all next week.
Exactly. Urs?
I'd like to close by saying, don't get so caught up so much in the old traditional way of doing things. Be open-minded about, trying different avenues to heal yourself, whether it's with vegetables, with medicinal marijuana. Keep an open mind when you're approaching your life. Your health is your wealth. Exactly. I'm a big fan of that. Yeah. Exactly. And so, yeah.
Exactly. And I'll close with this, man. That's a part of my life that yoga, along with medical marijuana, keeps me going. And I'm in a totally different realm in life as far as my mental health, my mental stability. Very important. Very important. So there's nothing wrong with going holistic, man. Nothing wrong with it at all.
Nothing wrong
a lot
with
of
it
people
at
look
all.
at you a little different if you're doing everything holistic, but there's nothing wrong with that, man. A healthy lifestyle is the best lifestyle. That's all I got to say. So until next Sunday, what are we going to be talking about, Dick? What are we going to talk about? What are we going to be talking about?
We're going to talk about keeping up with the Joneses.
I'm going to have fun with that one. I'm going to have so much fun with that one. So until next Sunday.
I'm going to wear my T-shirt.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Like good stuff. So until next Sunday, for Urs, Coach D, and myself, you guys be epic. We'll see you guys on the other side of Sunday. Take care.
All right. Good night.
Conversations with Trent in conjunction with Taylor Kennedy Media and your radio network would like to thank you for calling in and listening to tonight's episode. We hope that tonight's conversation offended you just enough to turn your mirror inward to come back for more. So until next week's conversation, be epic.